intro was so ironic. Anyways, you've read the title, let's just get into the video. It's actually been over 10 days. It's my 12th day today that I have quit social media. And by social media, I am actually talking about Instagram. Because let me tell you, I had 4 social media apps on my phone. I had Instagram, obviously, I had Snapchat, Twitter, and WhatsApp. Now, let me talk about Snapchat. This is going to sound weird, but don't judge me. Okay, please don't judge me. This is going to sound weird, I know. But for the past 4 years, or maybe over 4 years, I have been documenting my day every single day on Snapchat. This is like letting your feelings out, like journaling every single day, but rather than writing your feelings out, I would do it by speaking to myself. The cool part about Snapchat though is that you get memories every single year. So it has been so cool. I've literally witnessed my growth and evolvement of my thoughts, my opinions. Basically, I just take pictures and videos of everything and sometimes of myself when I need to vent or something, and I have them saved in my memories so I can look back at them whenever I want to, and that's really cool. So yeah. Woo! Sorry. It's literally my digital diary. And Twitter is my BTS information supplier. That's like my BTS newspaper. I only follow BTS fan pages and BTS's official accounts there. So it's literally just BTS related. And WhatsApp is just used to very rarely talk to my friends or family or just study or work related. That's WhatsApp. Now, I also have my laptop here, by the way, because I have the points written down so that I don't stray away from the topic and start talking about random shit and forget about the main key points, because that's what I always tend to do because I love to talk. Let's get into the reason why I deleted Instagram. Instagram is obviously too addictive. It is too distracting. There is so much information that you will retain in such short amount of time that it is bound to overstimulate your brain. It is bound to overwhelm you. There is just so much going on. There are so many different genres of content on Instagram, right? It drains your energy. It takes your mind off of your real life. You look at the sky, it's blue. The next thing you know, the sky has turned pitch black and it's dark. It takes your time away from the tasks or activities that you wanted to do or you had to do. It shortens your attention span. It makes you compare your life to others. It hit me so bad when I posted my first YouTube video. My mom saw my video and she was like,
"Oh, the video is nice, it's cool, it's everything, but why is it so long?"
And I'm like, Mom, it's a YouTube video. It's supposed to be 20-25 minutes long. I mean, there's no like supposed time duration, and to this day she still complains that my videos are longer and I talk a lot. So that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my god, everyone's attention span is just fucked. But anyways, all these things that I mentioned were what was getting to me as well, but I was kind of ignoring it. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Ever since COVID, basically a lot of people had started talking about how social media makes you compare your life to others and it makes you feel shitty about yourself, makes you feel worthless, makes you feel depressed. And I was so proud of myself because I was like, this is not affecting me. Apparently this is affecting most of the people, but it's not affecting me. It never really got to me. I didn't even have to struggle with that. But recently I realized that what people were doing was in fact affecting me and it was getting to me. And mind you, I barely follow like 15 celebrities and like 5 influencers. Generally, celebrities don't post about their trips too much, or if they're getting gifted things, maybe they'll post about it, but like not really. Whereas in comparison to that, an influencer's job is to literally post about what they're doing. It's their job, okay? So they're going to be traveling frequently, they're going to post every single thing about it, about every single thing they're buying, they're getting gifted. On top of my head, I remember only 2 influencers that I follow. But anything that they were doing was still, it started getting to me because I was like, shut up. This is the bag that I wanted and they have it. This is like my dream destination and they've been to this place for the 20th time within the past 2 years, you know? And I realized I was getting kind of pissed about it, but more so I was just getting so sad And I was like, oh my god, I am 20 years old and I'm not doing anything with my life. Always felt that way, that I'm just running out of time and I'm not doing enough. But recently, I was like, what am I doing? These people younger than me have just achieved something that I will probably never be able to achieve in my life. And I'm 20 years old and I'm sitting in my room watching these people live their lives. What the fuck am I doing, you know? But the funny part is, even that did not drive me to delete Instagram. Now, coming to my process of deleting Instagram. For over a year, I have had my notifications off because I would post so rarely. Like, I post 7 or 8 posts a year. But whenever I would post on Instagram, I would get anxious and I would get so hyper aware of what's going on. So every single ping of notification I would get, I would jump on my phone to see who liked my picture, and if my frequent liker has liked my picture, if my frequent commenter has commented on my picture, if my frequent commenter just liked my picture and left it at that and didn't comment, I would be like, oh my god, why didn't they comment? They always comment on my post, so it might not be good enough for them to not comment on it. And then I would just dwell on that picture, and I would also post a picture and I would just look at it for like 7 seconds right after I posted it, and I'd be like, no, I've looked at it long enough, I find too many flaws in it, I don't like it, and I would immediately delete it. But yeah, for these reasons, I had my notifications off for over a year. So I was very used to not seeing Instagram notifications. I deleted my Instagram 2 times when I found out that all the reasons that I previously mentioned were getting to me, and I was like, this is not good, I don't want to feel this way, this is just not healthy for me anymore. So I would delete Instagram. I deleted it twice, but then I re-downloaded it within half a day or a day. But what finally drove me to delete Instagram, I didn't even plan on making this video. Actually, I just sat down yesterday and I was like, oh wait, it's been like over 10 days, maybe I should talk about this. I actually had a really bad mental breakdown. I was just crying about things that have already happened, that I've cried about 50 times before, and I was just so pissed at myself for crying over the same shit over and over again. I was so mad and I was like, I want to do something. I'm so mad, I want to like channel my anger out somewhere. And I opened my phone and the first thing that caught my attention was the fucking Instagram logo, and I was like, bitch, you're going. And I'll give you a rundown of how these past 10 days have been for me, okay? The first 2 days were really tough. I'll admit, I wanted to cave. I wanted to cave really bad, and I was like, okay, I'm over my breakdown, I don't want to do this anymore, let's just re-download it and let's get back to it. But I was like, no, because I was just so exhausted. There was just so much going on mentally and physically that I was just done. And I was like, I want to change something for the better. If this can help me do that, then I'm going to. So I persevered. And for the first 2 days, when I wanted to cave so badly, I started reading. I read this book. Now I know, in the book world, we hate Colin Weaver. This has 307 pages and I finished it in 2 days. And I promise you, if I was on my Instagram, I would probably finish this within 2 or 3 weeks, because that is what happened with my last book, which had, I think, about 200 or 250 pages. This is the difference I noticed when I was on my Instagram versus when I didn't have Instagram. I finished this thick book in 2 days. And I was also doing different things, which is why it took me 2 days. I wasn't like completely submerged into it, but I did give a chunk of my day into reading this book. I went out with my friends. So I was off my phone when I was out with my friends, and when I was reading, I was off my phone. I also did a little bit of retail therapy. So these were the things that kept me distracted from the urge of re-downloading Instagram. Third day came around and I honestly did not feel the urge to download Instagram again. I was surely missing it. I didn't find myself craving Instagram. So I was good with that, and I also kept myself busy by dancing and singing. I did a whole 4-5 hour concert and it was so fun. And again, that kept me off of my phone, so kept me off of the urge of downloading Instagram. And then the fourth day, I was so happy that I did not cave all these 3 days, and I was adamant on the fourth day to just stay away from the app altogether because I was feeling a little better now. I was proud of myself. I was happy that I wasn't back on Instagram, and I started painting. Let me show you. These are just random pictures that I found were cute on Pinterest. And evidently, I'm not the best at it, but I enjoyed it so much. And I kept painting all day long. My brother was calling me painter all throughout these days, and I still keep painting. I love it. Painting is such a nice thing. It's such a nice distraction. It just completely keeps you away from your phone for hours and hours. And it also didn't allow me enough time to overthink because I was just so focused on my painting that I wasn't even really thinking about anything else. And finally, since the fifth day, I have been completely sober of Instagram, and I don't want to download it anymore at all. In fact, I want to go for as long as I can go without Instagram. Let's get into the cons of deleting social media or Instagram off of your phone. Number one is that you'll be out of loop. You won't know about what's going on, the trends, the fashion trends, the word trends, like for example, real or WRIZ. All these cool terms that are going on, all the fashion trends going on, all the editing trends going on, you won't really be aware of those things. If social media is your newspaper and you rely on it for news and information of the world, then that is something you'll be out of loop of as well. The music, the kind of reels going on, what everyone's wearing, what everyone's liking, what everyone's talking about, all these trendy topics and trendy things, you will be out of loop of. There's no stalking, there's lack of gossip because there's lack of information about what's going on in other people's lives and even celebrities' lives. So you won't have gossip. You probably won't be as social anymore, especially if you're an introvert or you have a lot of online friends and you mostly interact with people online. And all of these factors will ultimately lead to FOMO, which is fear of missing out. You will definitely feel like you're missing out on a huge chunk of people's lives and information and daily information and trends and all these things. So there will be FOMO for sure. Now let's go to the pros of not having social media or Instagram. Number one is that it lets you live in the moment. You will have a lot of time in your hand. You will find yourself being a lot more aware, a lot more in tune with what's going on around you and in your life. It makes you feel more secure and confident because you're not comparing yourself with others who are probably fabricating their lives in order to make it seem more appealing online, which is what everyone does. It's not on them, but obviously it plays with your self-esteem. That won't happen anymore. It makes you notice and appreciate little things in your life that you otherwise may overlook. It's just all in the little things. It makes you do things for yourself and not for validation of others. It literally makes you live for yourself. Now, coming to my experience of this process, number one, I have genuinely had so much energy to do the things that I really wanted to do, because a month ago I had my exams, and while I was giving my exams, I had made a to-do list after exam to-do list, and I had so many things that I wanted to do. Right when my exam ends, I was like, I'll have so much time in my hands, so I'll just do so many things that I want to do and I'll do all of it. And my exams ended and I just didn't have the energy to do anything. I literally did not. But ever since I've deleted Instagram, I have had so much energy. I've read, I have painted, I have drawn, I have danced my heart out, I have sung my heart out, and I've been cleaning and organizing and doing all these tasks that I was putting out for so long. I've had the energy to do all of it. My mind feels less cluttered and overwhelmed by the lack of information that I have. It has been so good. Again, coming back to the con that I mentioned, where you will find yourself being out of loop, I feel like that's sort of a blessing in disguise ultimately, because it just feels so much better, especially to me at least. It feels so much better to not know what people are up to not have information about all the negative shit going on. I just constantly felt so overwhelmed and overstimulated, and I don't feel that way anymore. Just been feeling so much lighter, so much better about life in general, about the world in general, and it's been really good for me to not know, to just not know. I also now have so much time in my hands to do the things that I want to do, that for a lot of times I find myself just laying on my bed and staring at the ceiling, because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have run out of things to do. I have so much time now as opposed to 2 weeks ago. I also now use various different forms of creative outlets in order to express myself, rather than using the Instagram story to express myself. My patience level has already gotten better, which has been so amazing. My attention span has gotten longer. This is not a joke. This is one thing that I'm so happy about, because I was genuinely feeling so guilty for not having the attention span to do anything. I was the kind of person who would sit through a whole K-drama of 16 episodes, where each episode was 1 or 1.5 hours, and I would sit through the whole thing. And now I start a movie which is like 1.5 hours long or 2 hours long. I start it, I watch it for 3 minutes. If it does not catch my attention, if I'm not immediately intrigued by it, I click away. I click off. I don't do that anymore. I just finished a K-drama a few days ago, and I'm so proud of myself. After so many months, I finally finished a whole K-drama. So that has been amazing. I've also started sleeping easily and quicker in comparison, which has been so amazing. I did not really expect this, but I'm so glad, because now I go to bed and within 10 minutes I'm knocked out. I sleep. Whereas if I would go to bed at like 10 p.m, I would literally be awake until 1 or 2 a.m. And mind you, I wasn't even on my phone. For a few hours, I would literally, because I really wanted to sleep, I would just stare at the ceiling, but I wouldn't be able to sleep. I don't know what is this exactly, what's the reason why I have, maybe it's because my brain is not as stimulated and overpowered anymore. I'm just more calmer, and I don't know what is it. I also find myself not being as annoyed and cranky as I was a few days ago, even before this experiment. And finally, in conclusion, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I don't feel like I want to re-download that app ever again. Literally, I will genuinely hold back for as long as I can. I don't want to go back on Instagram anymore. If you want to do this social media cleanse for however long you want to do it, the first step I would give you is to immediately get rid of the first app that you're the most addicted to. And you can also start gradually, first by turning off your notifications, so you get used to not seeing the notifications on your phone. Another thing you can do is add time limit to the apps. You can select the apps and you can select the time duration of how long you want to use that app, so you can gradually lessen your screen time. Finally, you can completely get rid of the app. So this process will break it down into steps and make it easier for you to get rid of the app altogether, and to probably, hopefully, not look back at it again. It's going to be based on how addicted you are to Instagram, so the initial few days are going to be tough. So you need distractions for sure. Probably going out is a nice thing, just spending time with your friends, family, that'll keep you off your phone. Whereas if you are still on your phone, you'll probably miss the app more, and you'll probably find that you have a stronger urge of re-downloading Instagram, and you might probably cave. So yeah, this was my experience. These were my suggestions. I would honestly really suggest you to just get rid of social media, do the full detox, and never look back at it again. It's been so great for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you don't really choose to do a social media detox, I hope you stay off of your phone for as long as you can. It will make your life better, I promise you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. See you